Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Chip Over the Top Rugby podcast. My name is Ryan. I am the host here. If you are new, welcome. And if you've been here before, you're a returning subscriber, welcome back. I appreciate you all very much. I am this close away from hitting 600 subscribers, and we are well on our way to that and more. So I'm very excited. So first and foremost, thank you very much if you are a subscriber. I do genuinely appreciate you because this is a new hobby, a new passion of mine, and I've been doing it now. I've done over 50 videos on YouTube, and so we're slowly building and we're slowly getting there. So happy days and welcome. Today I want to discuss and do an overview of the Six Nations, because if you didn't know, yesterday, as you're officially watching this, was the official launch day, launch party in Dublin, Ireland. And of course, it didn't go without any hiccups. Storm, let me see, I've written it down here. Storm Isha caused chaos for everybody. And if you didn't know, so they did it slightly differently this year. Last year, it was in London, I do believe, and they didn't quite have as many people there. And the reason why they had more people there this time is because, if you don't know and you live under a rock, Netflix has created a Six Nations documentary based on last year's tournament called Full Contact, which comes out tomorrow as you are watching this. Wednesday, the 24th of January, Six Nations Full Contact documentary on Netflix. I am very excited for that, and if you haven't got Netflix, you need to get it because you need to watch that. It's going to be class. So the reason why there was obviously different sort of mix-up this year was because they had the official launch, but they also had social media sort of influencers, people involved in sport, people involved in rugby, trying to grow the game and trying to get people obviously to tune in and watch the Six Nations documentary on Netflix, but also to evolve the game and get more people involved. And by utilizing social media influencers and stuff like that, it's only gonna happen, right? But where was my invite? No, I'm just kidding. Obviously, I can't be everywhere at once. I did get the invite, but Storm Isha wouldn't let me go. No, I'm just kidding. Anyway, before I dive into the Six Nations overview, right? Let me go back to the launch, right? So if you noticed on social media and you follow the Six Nations social media account, you will notice that David Jenkins, the Welsh captain, was not at the launch party. Instead, it was Thomas Williams. The reason being is that obviously Dav Jenkins and Exeter Chiefs played in France over the weekend, and due to the storm, he wasn't able to get back in time to make it to the launch, which did cause some chaos. So that is why Thomas Williams is featured in those photos instead. But all good. I know it kicked off a little bit later. I think they were supposed to start in the morning, but it got pushed to the afternoon. I know lots of people on social media who I follow who were supposed to be there, couldn't make it there immediately, got there late, etc. But turned out to be all right. There's no drama in the Six Nations, of course. Of course there is. I'm just kidding. Anyway, so before I dive into the Six Nations overview, let me just first and foremost show you. I'm not sponsored here, right? This is Samurai. Samurai sponsor sort of Leicester Tigers and Exeter Chiefs and a few other tournaments, right? The reason why I want to give Samurai a shout out, I'm not affiliated with them in any way, shape or form, but the best customer service I have ever received. So I was home in November and I was supposed to receive a parcel. I ordered some stuff on Black Friday. I think it was Black Friday or the Black Friday sale or something. And it was due to arrive the day before I was due to fly home. However, due to some delays on that, it arrived the day that I actually flew out back here to America. So I didn't get that shipment. And so for the past month and a half, I've just been back and forth trying to arrange them to ship it over or get it shipped to them so that they can ship it here, because I paid for international shipping, but they're doing a fantastic job, and I hopefully will receive that package very, very soon in the mail. But I just wanted to give them a shout out because fantastic customer service. Anyway, back to the main thing, the Six Nations overview, the modern era of the Six Nations, 2024 is now, right? So if you're new and you don't know what the Six Nations are, involve 6 teams: Wales, England, Scotland, Ireland, France, and Italy. That makes up the 6 teams. It is the pinnacle of European rugby. It is the best tournament, yearly annual tournament in the world in rugby, and I would argue in sports. It brings together so much rivalry, so much passion. The attendances are through the roof. Like the opening weekend, sold out. I wish I was there so bad for the opening Welsh game in Cardiff against Scotland. Just imagine you've got the Welsh national anthem, but before that is going to be Fawr of Scotland. So you've got Fawr of Scotland, some of the best. Honestly, if you watch any videos on YouTube, look at Fawr of Scotland, national anthem sung by Scotland, and then Henwlad fy Naddau at Cardiff. Oh my goodness, that is going to be electric. It is sold out. I'm sad I'm not going to be there. But anyway, so yeah, obviously the Six Nations officially kicked off, which is why I'm doing this overview video right now for you. So obviously lots of hype surrounding this tournament, primarily due to the new Netflix documentary that's coming out alongside it. So I'm really looking forward to that, and I think it's going to be very good on the whole, and it's going to just grow rugby on the whole. That is the whole point. That is why we're doing the Six Nations. I say we, like I made any effort into it, but that is why rugby is doing it, right? Because they do want to grow the sport. They know it needs to change, and hopefully off the back of the Six Nations documentary, this tournament, it's just going to keep growing from there, and it's going to be class. I'm really looking forward to it. So if you didn't know, the Six Nations is obviously a yearly tournament. It will start on February 2nd, a Friday night, late night kickoff under the lights in Marseille, France, taking on Ireland, which is going to be a blockbuster opening game of this tournament. I can't wait for that. And then following that on the Saturday, Italy take on England. And then the game that I'm most looking forward to, Wales v Scotland at the Principality, in a sellout game. And then of course it is across 5 weeks. Obviously there's 2 weeks in between as well, so it's technically a 7-week long tournament which will run nicely through the middle of March, and then that will go into the Women's Six Nations game, which I'm really looking forward to as well, just because of how well that it's been going and how well that's grown in attendance too. So alongside that, if you didn't know, there is fantasy rugby. I will be making a video on that very soon because I'm going to set up my own league, and it is my job. I've been recruited, not officially, unofficially asked by a couple of people at the Six Nations to kind of help push the fantasy rugby side of things, because obviously in America where I live, they love fantasy football, right? So trying to get people in that way as well will be fantastic to grow the game, because obviously, as we know, at the end of the day, the more people that we can watch the Six Nations, the more people that attend, the more people that fly over, not from just the countries that are involved in the tournament, but just in general to go and be on a match day. Like match day in Cardiff is incredible, right? So just to get more people over there, obviously then that grows the economy, that grows the sport, everybody's happy. Happy days. That is my job. That is what I'm here to do, alongside obviously this podcast. So yeah, obviously official kickoff launch yesterday. Obviously yesterday for you as you're watching this. Social media influencers there, fantasy rugby. I've touched upon the opening fixtures. So now, before I get into just wrapping up this video, let's talk about a few sort of news stories surrounding the Six Nations currently, right? Because obviously there's been some key players that every team has sort of been vouching for. Obviously we know Feu Wabosu for England and Wales, right? And then Finn Smith possibly could have played for Scotland. And then there's just some key other players who aren't even going to be in this tournament, which I think is crazy to not, just to think that they're not involved in this Six Nations year. Let's start from the top, shall we? Johnny Sexton, obviously retired. Dan Biggar, retired from international rugby. Obviously, for me, Lewis Rees-Zammit, massive shock, obviously, as we know, on that, going to the NFL pathway, being released from Gloucester immediately, and he's currently in Florida enjoying the warm weather. No Owen Farrell for England. He's obviously taken a little break from international duty in the Six Nations, and possibly we might not even see him feature again for England, because we just learned that he just signed for Racing 92 in France, and as we know, as it currently stands, no England player playing outside of England is eligible for selection. That is why Henry Arundel is no longer in the English squad. For France, there's no Dupont, because he's trying his hand at sevens this year, because he wants to, and it's a smart move on his part, play for gold at Paris Olympics this year. Good on him. And obviously for Scotland, no Hoggy. So yeah, it's going to be an interesting year. Who's going to step up and who's going to fill in those roles? I am very much looking forward to that. So let's just dive into that real quick. Who are the key players, in my opinion, for each team? And these necessarily aren't key players, I suppose, but these are players who I'm excited about seeing, right? So for England, obviously there's no Owen Farrell, right? So they need to figure out, okay, is Marcus Smith the next 10? Or, because it was good when he came on the field and slotted in at 15, right? So before we get any further, let me know your thoughts on this below, right? Let me know what you think about each team, the selections, the squads. I'm not going to go into that because there's plenty of videos on that. I just want to know your thoughts, right? Let me know who are the key players below. And if you like this video so far, give this obviously a thumbs up. And if you are here at this moment in time, make sure you hit subscribe below for more content coming soon. Should have plugged that at the beginning before I went off my rant, but there we go. So yeah, obviously Marcus Smith is a fantastic fly half for Harlequins, but he has played 10 and 15 for England, and I think he does really well at 15. So will potentially Finn Smith step up and play 10 and have, say, Marcus Smith at 15? Who knows? Because obviously George Ford is not going to make the next World Cup cycle, right? Or is he? Is he going to be the next Sexton? Who knows? And then I'm really looking forward to seeing the hype surrounding Feyi Wabosu if he actually gets selected. I personally think he will get selected for the opening weekend. It's against Italy, which will be an easier game, but I'm not writing Italy off this year at all, because some of the players they have in their squad are pretty hot right now in terms of how they're performing. For France, my goodness, Emmanuel Miafo finally gets selected. He's a Samoan-born Kiwi, right? But obviously got through residency in France. He is massive, ladies and gentlemen. He's plays second row. I don't understand it. He's 145 kilos, which America, that's about 320 pounds. And he's 6'8". And the man can move. It is scary. I don't honestly know who across each team is going to be able to tackle him. It's going to be massive. It's going to be scary. So I'm looking forward to seeing him play. But I'm also looking to see Biel Bieri, the winger/fullback, come in, because he had a hell of a tournament at the World Cup for France. So to see him in the Six Nations and to see him involved in that, I'm really looking forward to that, because like I don't understand, with obviously Dupont not there and there's no Entamac, who is France going to put at 10? Would they put Ramos there or Jaminet, which will open up maybe a spot at fullback for one of those two, or Biel Bieri? Time will tell. For Italy, I'm really looking forward to seeing Vincent finally make his, well, obviously not finally make his debut, but he's South African-born back rower, playing for Exeter right now. And he's been playing well. So be looking forward to seeing him. And then I'm really looking forward to seeing Federico Mori, who's a massive centre. And Italy hasn't really had a big ball carrying centre for a while. So I'm really looking forward to seeing how he does, because currently he's playing well for his club as well. For Ireland, it's going to be interesting, right? So obviously no Sexton. Who is stepping up to play number 10? Is it going to be Byrne, Crawley? Who knows? Like who's next, right? That's what I'm looking forward to seeing. For Scotland, I'm really looking forward to seeing whether Blair Kinghorn and Finn Russell can maintain their sort of stardom and their run of form into the Six Nations. They played exceptionally well, and if Scotland has any chance of winning this year's Six Nations, those two have to be on sync and on form. And then for Wales, who am I most looking forward to seeing? Well, I'm first and foremost looking forward to seeing a fit Leon Brown, see what he can finally do on the field. I'm also looking forward to seeing Cam Winnett. I think long term he might be the answer for at fullback, to replace sort of Halfpenny and Liam Williams. He's kind of like in the middle of those two, and he's very good. And for Wales, I'm just looking forward to seeing the youth coming through. What can Mann do and Martin, what can they do in the back row for Wales? Ioan Lloyd, for example, whether he will step up and find a spot in the team. Will Costello do good this season? Obviously coming off the back of that injury, hasn't played that many games for the Scarlets since. And yeah, I'm just looking forward to it. So it'll be interesting. Obviously people are writing Wales off already, but it is what it is. They always do, no matter what they did at the World Cup. Look what happened. We made it to the quarters. And yeah, so happy days. So obviously, big news. Full Contact Six Nations is out tomorrow as you're watching this, and then obviously we had the launch for the Six Nations. So with that being said, I'm going to wrap this video up, but before I do, make sure you subscribe for more content. I do have a couple videos coming up. I need to do a video on the MLR and just growth in the USA, because that is coming up very soon. The MLR, they started pre-season training this week as well, and then obviously I need to discuss and make a video on the fantasy rugby, whether I upload it on here for you lot or just on TikTok, which if you want to follow me on TikTok, just look in the link in the description below. And that's it from me, ladies and gentlemen. Diolch yn fawr. Thank you very much for watching. I do appreciate it. What game of this tournament are you looking forward to? What opening game are you looking forward to? I think France v Ireland is going to be electric, and I'm really looking forward to Wales v Scotland. But I'm not writing Italy off as well, because I do think they might give England a run for their money. But hey ho, we shall see. We say that every year, right? We say that every year about Italy. But they've been playing well domestically and regionally in the leagues. I mean, Benetton and Zebra have been playing decent rugby. So we shall see. We shall see indeed. So ladies and gentlemen, if you made it this far, diolch yn fawr. Thank you very much. Give this video a thumbs up. Subscribe for more. And I will catch you in the next one. Peace.